return a warm welcome. Off we jolly well go, as they say, because it's the start of a brand new season of Superstock 600. And it all begins right here in Imola, through the trees and forests of the fantastic Imola circuit. The youngsters, the young guns of the future, so to speak, of World Superbikes, their first real international foray. Some returning from last year, others taking on the international scene for the first time ever. A huge field as well, over 36 riders in all. And, well, Superbike racing has never been more, as we look at the calendar, never been stronger, I was about to say. And here is their championship. 10 rounds in all. Assen, Monza, Misano, Aragon, Brno, Silverstone, Nürburgring, Portimao, and Magny-Cours. A lot of racing, a lot of difficult tracks ahead, especially for those who've never entered the international scene before. And Steve Martin, we've been talking to some of the youngsters over the day and over the weekend, and I think a lot of them relishing the prospect and obviously a little nervous about what lies ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's for these guys, you've got to remember they're very, very young guys. Some of them 15, some of them 17, up to 21, 22 years old. They're young, they're unexperienced, and for them, all they can see is that they're about to start a championship that could lead their lives into their dream, which is a World Superbike Championship later on. So obviously they're putting all the effort they can in. Normally it's the parents that get behind them to help them, because obviously they're too young to be able to afford to do it themselves. But you know, there's some good teams out there as well, like the MTM team, and that get behind these young guys and give them a chance. It's all about a chance, this championship, Jonathan, to try and give these boys a basic bike. It's not too performant, it's not a super sport bike, it's quite a stock bike, let's say. Give them a platform to show what they can do, to learn the basic things that it takes to race at World Championship level.
Yeah, no question about it. There's a great opportunity for these youngsters, and I think talking to them, I'm also, like you say, you mentioned that they're 16, 17. I mean, just take one example. Matt Davis, who of course won a championship last year on the 250s here. And the young Australian, 16 years of age, but as we learned this morning, he's done a lot of racing already in Britain. And
yeah, sure. I mean, you talk to these young guys now, and they go, yeah. He's 16, and he goes, yeah. Back in 2007, I was, you know, when I raced in the BSB and the Super Teens 125. You know, I learnt this and that. There are those two MTM bikes, by the way, the two Australians, Nestevic, well, three riders in the MTM team, Nestevic, De Weltz, and also Snowsill, thank you.
Yeah, I spoke to him this morning, good guy.
Yeah, the thing is with this championship, these young guys, they're learning so much. I mean, you know, you just have to chat to them, you know, you have a bit of a chat to them and you can just give them that little bit of advice.
Well, you can hear them sponging it off you, yeah?
They're ready to soak up any little bit of advice that you can get, and it's certainly the base level here at this championship. But we do take it seriously, and you know, a guy like this guy here on the Yamaha, Russo, he knows this track well. He's been in this championship for a couple of years now.
Also sneaked the pole away from Van der Mark in the final moments of qualifying. Wouldn't say it's a surprise pole position, but he put in a perfect lap right at the last moment.
Yeah, he certainly did. It looked to us like Van der Mark. We were just having a chat about it. It looked. We always try to get down and get in the pit lane and watch these qualifying sessions. It really did look like Van der Mark, who it's his second year here on the Honda. It looked like, and here is Van der Mark as we have a look. We thought that he'd got that pole. He was quite convincingly half a second lap in front of the other guys. But then Russo just put that flyer in and really did get that pole position.
You've got to think that Michael van der Mark, as we're looking at now on the Honda, has got to be the favourite. He won twice as many races as anyone else, even though he was third last year. He was the man to watch last year, and I'm almost convinced with so many moving up, Josh Day, Jed Metcher, all gone and moving on, as it were. Cala Perez has stayed. He had some good runs last year. I think I was disappointed actually with Carlos Perez because he's been quick, but he's never really got the results.
Yeah, but the Spaniard, I mean, like, the thing about him is that 1 minute he seems to be really well on form, and then the next minute he's down near the back of the grid. But I mean, as you said, there's 36 starters in this field. It's a long way back. Florentino is a new name to the championship, obviously an Italian, so he's always going to perform well at what could possibly be his home track here in Imola. Probably done a lot of laps around here before as well, even though he's young.
L2 promotion is his team. Nicola Morentino, number 53. He's a wild card entry, in fact, for this weekend's race. Vitali had a good qualifying session.
Yeah, Vitali, another one. We're going to see a lot of these young Italians go well, especially in, at these local tracks, because they do the Italian championships. In years gone by, although they're new to this series, it's always hard to come to Italy because there's so many young guys that want to emulate the Italian greats like Marco Melandri and Max Biaggi.
Well, he and Russo are the two FMI Team Italia boys who are coming through effectively the academy from Italian Academy.
Yeah. And just quickly, as we look at Morbidelli, I'll explain what that is. It's the Italian FIM, or the people in charge of the Italian motorcycling federation. They've actually put their money in and the money of the people involved, and they're making a platform for the young Italians to showcase what they can do in the World Championship, which is a great thing.
Another returning Frenchman is this man, Iger, and he had some good performances last year as well. So I'm expecting him to be at the top or close to throughout most of the season. Stéphane Iger.
He's been in this championship now for a couple of years. I remember him having some cracker rides in Nürburgring, different tracks around the place. He's always performed well, a little bit off the pace some of the time last year.
Same for Coco.
Yeah, another one, back for another show. But that's the thing, I mean, like, it's the second year now for these guys, and they know the tracks, and we're going to see different riders, like they're more used to the bikes, they know what to expect. It's not new to them to sit on the grid like this. It's a very stressful time for these young guys, like everything is on the line now. They don't get a lot of track time either, Jonathan. You've got to remember, it's still only Saturday afternoon here. And the guys, they just finished their qualifying at lunchtime today. No warm-up, straight into it, and away they go.
Top Kawasaki, Gammarino.
Yeah, Gammarino. We effectively saw how good the Kawasaki was last year in the hands of Josh Day. He actually was the guy that won the race here last year for Kawasaki, so we know that Kawasaki could possibly work well here. It's just a matter of what Gammarino can do with it.
I'm interested in the next man up. Here he is, number 8. Bastien Chassot, who's dropping down from World Supersport to do this championship, and I wonder how hard that is.
Well, it's really, I would have thought that he might have been doing a better job than he is. Obviously it's going to take a little bit of time, but he's used to the Honda. He knows the Imola track. He's come from the championship where the level is very quite high, and I guess he hasn't gone straight to pole position here, which is what I would have expected for anybody that's come from Supersport, because this is a level lower in competition. But what it does do is show you the preparedness of these younger guys, exactly what you were talking about before with Matt Davies, who's had all those years in different championships, won 9 Australian dirt track championships. Like these guys, although it's a feeder starter championship, Jonathan, it's not that easy to come back even from Supersport and win.
Stefano Casalotti, another one of the wildcard riders, qualified well.
Yeah,
third row.
Yep, certainly qualified well on the third row. Lap time's quite good. Once again, another young Italian guy. Going to be hard to beat. Can get off the line well. Slipstreaming will be part of, come into play here. And even though he starts in the third row of the grid, I wouldn't expect a guy like him to, not be somewhere there or thereabouts in the race.
Varagitoro. He too is returning this year, having raced last year in the championship.
Yep, a Romanian. Good to see him here, and a lot of Eastern Bloc countries are joining this championship now. In fact, we're heading to Russia.
We are heading to Russia, and I think it's a really good sign that we've got guys from Hungary, from Russia itself, and like you say, a lot of Eastern European countries now becoming quite highlight in the championship. 3 minutes to go then, and a big moment really at the start of the season. Steve, you've done it many a time, but Butterflies going when a start of a new season?
When you see that 3-minute board, the helmet goes on. The guys are putting the helmets on now. And I guess that's your last respite. You know that you've got about a minute to yourself, but nobody's going to be talking to you, as we look at Fritz from Germany.
Marvin. That's his name.
Yeah, thank you.
Marvin Fritz.
And, you know, the helmet's on. You can have a quiet moment to yourself. You run through your head, you know, hopefully you've got, there's DeWaltz's bike, number 52. You run through your head what's going on. Maybe the last kiss to the camera, like DeWaltz. And then the engines start and away you go. And on that warm-up lap, the first part, you try to stay as cool as you can. Then get ready and just try and figure out who you're going to follow off the line.
I say a lot of tense moments, but I would have thought also such a long winter, even though it's only a few months. When you're a racer, I know, having watched you guys so many times now, as we look at Simpson from Great Britain, you're desperate over the winter to get on a bike again, and finally here it arrives. It's almost some sort of relief, isn't it, to go racing?
These guys, I mean, they're young. I remember when I was 18, Jonathan, you just want to get out there and race. You don't care. You want to get out there, you want to win, you want to get your knee on the ground, you want to have some fun. And that's basically what they're out there. But this is a World Championship, so there's a lot of pressure at stake. They're already in the eye. I mean, in that pit lane there's guys like Jonathan Ray. We just spoke to him before. He's out there watching these guys. There's Nestrovic.
Yeah, little Aussie.
It's his second year in the championship as well, so he'll be looking to make his way forward.
You spoke to him this morning. What was he struggling with?
Yeah, well, they've got a new electronic system on that bike.
Good choice of number on there.
Yeah, number 99. Tony Kavina. Yeah, Nestrovic, they've just got a new electronic system, and he was one of the guys that was soaking up the information about, you know, they were having trouble with the engine braking system, but they've got that sorted now.
Kavina, a Dutch South African. There is such a thing. Well, I've got a feeling Kavina went to Colin Edwards boot camp, you know, over the winter. Yeah. A bunch of Dutch and Belgian riders went out there, and I think Kavina was one of them. He was certainly on the list. I definitely saw his name on the list, so
yeah,
he's been having some fun in the winter. Here's the grid. Russo in pole position for Italy. Van der Mark, one of the favourites. Calero Perez. Mariento, the wild card on the first row. Benini, Fritz, De Weltz and Simpson. Good qualifying by Simpson on that fourth row. And then Nestorovic, as you mentioned, Kavina, who we just saw. And a little further down, there's Matt Davis, who's coming up from the Kawasaki Championship. 23rd on the grid. He'll be disappointed with that, but as we spoke to him earlier in the weekend, he's just slowly, I think his approach is right, actually. He's not trying to change the world in the first race. There is a long championship, 10 rounds in all, and a long way to go. Snowsill was the man we mentioned earlier. I spoke to him this morning, and Richard Tournay. Tricky Dicky Tournay from France. You know him pretty well, don't you?
Yeah, he's bringing up the rear of the grid, 36th position. I mean, look at the amount of riders that
it's huge, isn't it?
Certainly not a lack of talent coming through, and although there's 36 riders, Jonathan, honestly there's not a lot of time between them. There's less than 3 seconds covering the whole grid, so that is impressive. And what that means is going to be a lot of tight bunches battling it out in this race. It might not all be for first position, but we're going to see a lot of guys taking it to one another and trying to prove that they're the best, especially with this testosterone out there. Everybody out there now trying to warm up those tyres. Probably the first half of the lap, taking a little bit easy, warm everything up. You don't want to get to the line first, Jonathan. You don't want to get there quicker than everybody else and have to wait for the rest of the guys to grid up. And
yeah, but isn't
that guy on the left there? See how he's got his hand in the air? That's exactly what he's worried about.
Has he got a question?
No, yeah, his question is I don't want to be there first. So what he's doing is he's slowing down. He doesn't want to get it hit. So he's basically just taking it nice and easy, and he wants to arrive about in the middle of that group. I mean, look how many there are.
Isn't that a trick, though, that what you just described, and, you know, the wily old fox that you are, yes, you learnt that over years, that these guys, do they really know not to arrive first on the grid?
Yeah, they do. They've been watching MotoGP and Mad World Superbikes for years, these young guys. But
yeah, they're all looking over their shoulders, I can see that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look at them all there. There is De Weltz in the number 92 machine.
But it's Russo in pole position. Really, really good qualifying by him.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think Russo's got to be one of the favourites for the championship, along with Van der Mark. It's probably going to come down to those two guys, with a few spoilers among the weight.
Would you be, if you were in this lead group, let's say there's a group of 6 riders at the start of it heading down towards Tamburello, would you be in the pack or would you want to lead?
You need to be you know, on the first lap, you need to look like, if you're leading the race in the first couple of laps, when you've got this many guys, you can't afford to get shuffled back. You need to try and just go for it and try and get out in front and create a lead. But the whole idea is that if you're smart to get into that front pack, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 riders, and conserve your tyres. But these races aren't overly long, Jonathan. They're only 11 laps, they're half distance compared to a World Superbike race. So you haven't got a lot of time.
It's a sprint race in true fashion, isn't it?
You've pretty much always got to try and be near the front. The other thing is, if the race gets stopped, the results will go back a lap. So you can't afford to hang around in 5th position and hope that nothing happens.
Right.
The more times you lead over that start-finish line, the more chance you've got of winning the race.
Well, one thing I can tell you, the podium was Day, Russo and Mecha. Day and Mecha are gone. They are now up in Supersport. And so Russo, who is pole position for this, was 2nd here last year, and now I'm sure, given it's a new season and a new year of racing, is desperate to get that first win under his belt. Here we go then, a brand new season of Superstock 600, the UEM European Championship, about to get underway. Up go the revs, out go the lights, away they go, and a good start from the pole man. Just a little bit of a wheelie, but he got away okay.
Van der Mark went back just a little bit, but yes, it looks like Russo's taking the lead.
Russo takes the lead at the first corner then.
Van der Mark back in about 4th or 5th position, so he's left himself with a lot of work to do. Look at that crowd goes through there.
What a crowd. That's the biggest field I think I've ever seen in World Superbike Championship. These are the youngsters. This is the future right in front of you. So we head through Villeneuve for the first time. It is Russo, Vitali it was, who got 2nd place. Canaro Perez in 3rd, and then Van der Mark dropping down to 4th, as you quite rightly point out.
Now we're probably going to see a lot of... Oh, look up the inside, there goes De Weltz on number 92, but didn't pull that off.
Don't think he wanted to be there on track, did he?
It's good to see that beautiful machine prepared by Russo.
Somebody going wide, but okay.
There's going to be a lot of people going wide in this race, Jonathan. Over the top of the hill they go. They tip in. 3rd gear through here on these little 600s. The big superbikes get big slides down that hill, but these 600s, they don't have that power, so the idea is to keep tucked in, nice, and up the inside goes one of the Triumphs.
Good clean start then, literally by the whole field. I don't think I saw any mistakes.
Now, what we're going to see in a race like this is a couple of the Italian wildcards might become spoilers. You've got your guys like Russo that we're going to see throughout the year, Carlo Perez, but you've got your guys like Vitali and Marantino, who are in 2nd and 4th at the moment out there, that could become spoilers this weekend, just due to the fact that they've done a few more laps around this Imola circuit.
Well, Riccardo Russo has got his head down. Look at the lead he's already pulled as he heads into Rivazza 1 for the first time. Really, really impressive start by him. And he's pulling away from Vitali in 2nd place, Calabrese, and then the wild card, Mariento, as you mentioned, in 4th position. Van der Mark trying to recover from 5th. Stéphane Iger, the Frenchman, is in the top 6, into the last chicane.
Hard on the brakes here. You can just see also how they use all of the chicane there on the way in and on the way out in the slipstream. But yeah, Russo now 1.3 seconds, 56.4. He's 1.5 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else on that opening lap.
That was an impressive opening lap for sure.
And there goes Chesau. There's Chesau.
Swiss rider.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to find his way around this championship now. He started in 8th. He's already moved up to 7th, past Morbidelli. And Agia just in front of him on the number 43 machine. No
jump starts. Matt Davis up to 13th position.
Wow, that's a great start. He's jumped 10 people.
That's awesome, yeah. Really good indeed. De Weltz is the man who dropped the most, though, down to 15th place. And actually, Vragitoro, the young man from Bucharest, is all the way down in 17th position as well.
Nestorovic is also just moved up into 18th as well, so he's there or thereabouts to where he started.
Out of Peritella again and down the hill towards Aqua Minerale. Hard on the anchors here. Down to 2nd gear now, turning it in and keeping it really tight through here. Bike loads right up as you head uphill. It's a lot steeper than it looks on TV, isn't it, Steve?
It certainly is. The other thing is it's very, very blind. There's the number 84 of Russo well out in front, but look at that group. There's a group of 6 guys in there behind now, including Van der Mark. That's probably not where he wanted to be. The Honda possibly in this guy's a little bit slower than the Yamaha in top speed. The Yamaha is normally the bike that guys like to have in this championship, that or the Kawasaki. So a guy like Van der Mark needs clear air to get those fast lap times. When he's dicing with a group like this, it's going to always be very, very difficult for him.
Yeah, it's ironic that Yamaha have no influence in Superbike and Supersport, really, and yet here, they're the bike of choice.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're probably the easiest bike to get going at the pace within the rules that are allowed. In saying that, we've had Honda win the championship. It's been, Kawasaki have won races. It is pretty even. But at the moment, Russo has just done a 55.2, making everybody look silly.
Yeah, and Van der Mark, his best lap, Van der Mark in 2011, 55.1. So he's getting already in just a second lap. Look at him go. He's got a 2.3 second lead already over Riccardo Russo.
As they come through, that's the Tamburello in the background that you see, and they just flick into the Villeneuve, Variante Villeneuve. Second gear, it looks like a stop-start corner, this one, but it's a blind left-hand uphill, a little bit on camber, and you can just really keep that mid-corner speed up. You've got to try and keep that speed flowing through there and then up the hill, especially on these little 600s. Very important to keep that rolling speed up. You don't really want to get the rear wheel spinning on these little 600s. You want to try and keep them in line, keep tucked in, keep it nice and neat, and dip up the inside in the braking, a little bit like a 125.
Two riders involved in an incident, number 88 and 45. Let's hope they're okay.
That's Marchell is one of those riders.
Meanwhile, at the front, a good group gathering behind Russo.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
That could be collarbone territory.
It is. Ouch.
Oh, there's the other one.
Oh, that's even faster.
He's all right, though. Luckily, there's a lot of runoff here at Imola.
See, so pink bike, you see.
Not the go?
Not the go, I don't think.
Yeah, back in the 80s, mate.
Yeah. You had a pink bike?
As they come out of Ravazza, one more time, there's Carlo Perez. He's 2.3 seconds behind Russo. Russo running away with it out front at the moment.
Morbidelli still in the top 8, just behind Igier.
To be fair, Russo has made his gap in the first 2 laps. He's been in this championship for a couple of years now. He's managed to get down to his lap time straight away. Right now, the lap times are similar between all the guys. Carlo Perez has more or less let Russo get that 2.5 second gap lead in that first couple of laps. So it's more or less a gift to Russo.
And it just shows you how well he's riding, because the guys behind him, 4 guys set their fastest laps, but none of them were as quick as Russo.
No, true, but the thing is that with Russo, with these Pirelli tyres, the best time to set your fastest lap is the first lap, because they're brand new. They've got great, I know it's great grip, perfect grip when they're new. They're like qualifying tyres, so if you're going to do it, you've got to get the confidence in the tyre and do it on that first lap, and that's what he did. Now he's managing to maintain that gap. It's 2.5 seconds, which is it's a very comfortable gap, 2.6 seconds.
And we say stock, because that's what it is. These are pretty much stock bikes. Does that go for the tyres as well? Are these the sort of tyres that you could run on the road?
Yeah, they are. You can go, the SC2 tyres, 600, and the 180, 190 rear size, and the 120/70 front 17. Just go to your shop, you can buy them, the SC2s. They're an all-round package, good tyre, work well in these conditions. And then you put that onto your 600 and you've got the same grip. And believe you me, if you haven't never ridden on a set of these tyres, you better go and buy some, because it's a whole new experience.
In what way?
Well, there's just so much more grip. It's like, like if you're riding around on a normal set of worn-out tyres, you don't really realise what you miss out on. You go to a track day, you put a set of new grippy tyres on, Jonathan, and let me tell you, you get a
suddenly you're the next Steve Martin, right?
Well, hopefully better than that. You get a smile on your dial.
A smile on your dial.
Put it to you like that.
There you go.
Lap times, 55.3 for Russo last time round, 55.5, 55.2 for Van der Mark. Van der Mark on the pace,
54.7. Whoa!
Spoke too soon, didn't I?
Just did a sykes of a lap, that.
And that is a lap record.
Superb then. Russo continues. 3 seconds now he's got on the rest of the chasing pack. Carlo Perez, Vitali, Van der Mark is up to 4th place, having dropped to 5th at the start. Van der Mark, as we said, was the favourite in my mind for the championship overall. He needs a podium today at least.
Yeah, I think Van der Mark is the man under pressure at the moment. Let's hope he doesn't do anything silly, because you've got to remember we've got Vitali up there who knows this track well. There's a few guys you can see. I mean, like, he's sniffing at second position there at the moment. That second position, Carlo Perez just in front of him. And, he's probably thinking to himself, I could probably just get past there and get second and my day won't be too bad. But it's not that easy, because Carlo Perez is also putting on a pretty good pace. He did a 55.0.
Davis up to 12th position now. De Veldt still in 15th.
Tell you what, man, I'm pretty impressed with Davis. Just to give you guys an idea, this young 16-year-old kid, never ridden a 600 before, 56.4. He's about a second and a little bit slower than the absolute fast guys. And, you know, it's his first time at Imola. And believe you me, this track is not easy to learn. It's very, very blind. As you can see, you come over that rise there, hard on the brakes. You can't really see through this chicane. And then it's also blind out of here as well. Flat out, second, third, fourth, fifth, through the fast kink, then down the hill into Ravazza. That's also blind into there. So it's very, very hard to get your confidence up, especially when you consider that these guys, the sessions, the practice sessions are only half an hour long.
And Davis was saying to you this morning, he goes, yeah, he said, it's pretty hard to learn. He said, I'm never in a straight line. I'm always lent one way or the other. He said, I kept trying to relax, but I haven't had time.
Yeah, because he wasn't sure what way. He wasn't sure whether to go left or right next, so he had to be prepared for anything. Typical young guy, but anyway, he's certainly showing the talent that he had in, you know, for winning that the 250 Cup last year. Oh, no, that's... Don't tell me that's Van der Mark. Don't tell me that's Van der Mark.
It's Coco.
Oh, it's the end of his day. He crashed out of a pretty good position too.
Simple crash last turn. Just lost the front end. I think he's going to be okay. Yeah,
I mean, he's obviously okay, just mentally scarred.
Meanwhile, Russo continues, and he just did another quick lap, 54.5 this time.
Yeah, 54.5, 54.9 for Carlo Perez. Carlo Perez still putting the pressure on, but not quite enough.
Vitali doing a good job, because he's been under pressure now from Van der Mark for the last 3 laps. There he is, number 70, right in front of you there. And he's holding on to that 3rd position, but Van der Mark, as you can see, waiting for his moment. Morienti not far behind.
Yeah, we're about halfway through the race now, and now's about the time where if you're going to have, like, it takes a lot of concentration to ride these bikes. You really do have to concentrate, get everything right, hit every apex, and about now is when, if you're not really 100% fit, not 100% bike fit, it's when you can start to lose that concentration. And when you start to lose that concentration, that's where the stronger rider can make a pounce. So maybe now, Van der Mark, with the extra experience, should try to look for, you know, a way past.
And the other Yamaha of Morentino is coming fast too, just in the background there.
Yeah, he's sitting there. He's also another one, you know, obviously an Italian guy, knows his track well. Perhaps more than Van der Mark, the Dutchman who did ride here last year, but very doubtful that he comes and does the Italian Championships.
I spoke to Jeremy Gorononi, a former champion, of course, of this championship, the young Frenchman. He was watching on the pit wall with me today, and I said, so, who's your pick for this year? And he goes, no doubt about it, Van der Mark.
Yeah, and I mean, if anybody can tell you who's going to win, it's going to be these young guys, because they really do watch the classes that they climbed up through very carefully.
You might have noticed we have a brand new sponsor and partner, title sponsor, Eni, on board long-term with World Superbikes, and that's good news if you're a youngster of 16. The championship is stronger than ever, and we've got some big names like Eni on board, and we welcome them to the championship.
That was certainly good news to hear today, that they're going to be with us for the foreseeable future.
And also exciting news that they are hoping to spread their products into the Far East, and that's exactly what Paolo Flamini and the Infront team want to do as well. So there's big talk now of India, Indonesia in the future. So we are spreading our wings. Yeah, exactly. Great places. I've raced in Asia for a long time in terms of following the racing out there, and I think they're as excited as we are about going, because there's a lot of young talent. I know you know Donny Perdita, who was in the Supersport Championship a couple of years ago. They've got some good talent out there.
Yeah, they certainly have. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't go there now. They're, you know, the countries are certainly the growing countries, and they're heavily into their motorsport. If there's one market where the untapped market where sports bikes sales are growing, it's India. And
I'm going to say, and I'll tell you, you talk about these youngsters. When I've watched Indian underbone racing, and I'm talking moped 125 racing in India, there's huge talent out there. There and in Thailand, I'll tell you, those guys would give these guys a run for their money for sure.
Oh, I'd like to see that. I would.
Until you've seen a Thai underbone race, you see nothing.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I don't think anybody can give Russo a run for his money today. He's still in the 54s, 54.6 for Carlo Perez, though. Carlo Perez has actually pulled him back a little bit, but still with a 3-second gap and less than 4 laps to go, John. And I think if Russo doesn't make a mistake, he's going to probably win this one.
All right, Steve, you've ridden here at Imola many times before. I'm going to put you on Van der Mark's number 60 Yamaha right now and say to you...
Yep.
How
on his Honda.
I'll put you on his Honda instead. How are you going to get past?